November 15th, 2005, I was listening to this opportunity call.
Bill Nicholas. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Opportunity call.
Oh, it could be better, Bruce. Somebody's calling in on my line. That's me, Greg Smith here. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Real good, Greg. Real good. I'm going to see you this weekend, I think. Oh, beautiful. You coming out? Oh, you better believe I am. Good, good. I'll be there Friday night and then Saturday also. Oh, that's great. You bringing a whole busload of people with you? I'm having one that's coming in, yes. Definitely. He'll be there Saturday. Sounds great. While you're on, Greg, why don't you tell everybody what you're doing while we're waiting for everybody to join us? What am I doing? Yeah. I'm doing this kind of a little slow here today. Got my daughter home. Yeah, we're Friday and Saturday up in San Jose. It should be on the website. Should have got some emails out there. Business opportunity meeting on Friday, and then Saturday we're going to have just a great day with David Schmidt will be there and Stephen Halterwanger, and both days the new Executive Vice President Mike Collins will be there, and he's just going to be a great addition to the corporate staff, and I'm excited to get to meet him and really take this company to new heights. He's got some great ideas, and it's, but you know, Bruce, I think it's going to be a great win-win for all of us. Awesome. All right, it's about 5:31. Who else is going to join the call tonight? Charlie Lotus, looking for you. We're on. Charlie there, good deal. Back here somewhere, right? You there? Yeah, I'm here. All right. Perfect. Coach Quick? Yes. He's there. Perfect. I think we got a whole crew. We'll give it another couple minutes. Before we get started, any great stories out there? Anybody have just a phenomenal story to tell us, Patches?
So, good is up. So,
everybody's bashful tonight.
Well, I will start.
Let's have one.
My mother is 92 years old and has broken many things, hips, legs, wrists, elbows. So you can't say that she's at peak health. And I got her down on the floor to do leg raises in order to test her because we didn't want her doing push-ups or anything that would be really strenuous. So before trying the patches, we got her down on the floor. She could only do 4 leg raises. I put her on the patches, set the timer, 10 minutes later, got her down on the floor, though I felt a bit cruel to do it. And this time, she did 30 leg raises.
Wow.
That blew me away. She could have done more, but I thought I'd prove my point. I just had her stop there.
How old was she?
92.
92. And where did you put the patches? Oh, my.
I put them on the lung points.
Which is where?
Up in the shoulder area, white on the right, tan on the left. And of course, she's been wearing them ever since. And she does use the sleep just as well. The rest quiet does seem to help her get a better night's sleep. And of course, I know that a lot of what people consider as kind of mental decline is the fact that they're just not resting well. So I'm very happy to have that for her.
That is terrific. And with that, we're going to start the call.
All right.
Presentation mode is now enabled.
Well, good evening, everybody. For those of you that have joined us on this terrific call tonight, this is the Lifewave call. Hi, my name is Bruce Matheson, and I'm a former NFL quarterback. You can look at that as fortunate or unfortunate, depending on all the injuries I've had. You can go, that's a crazy sport it was. After broken hand, broken leg, being knocked out twice, back surgery twice, shoulder surgery once. You know, mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be football players. Let them play guitars and have those good times. But fun sport. But I was introduced to a company called Lifewave about 5 months ago. And for those of you that are brand new on the phone call tonight, Lifewave has a product that looks like a patch, a round circle patch, looks like a Band-Aid. And I looked at these things and thought, this was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. How could these things do anything? And what I was told was to put them on my body in certain key locations and then go test them. Well, how do you test them? What do you do? Well, for me, I went out and lifted weights. I knew exactly where my markers were for lifting and whatnot, and working out with dumbbells and barbells and that kind of stuff, being the knothead athlete that I am. And I went out and I absolutely put the patches on, or actually, let's go back. I did not put the patches on. I went out and did a quick workout. And I really what I tried to do is fatigue my shoulders and fatigue my chest to a point where I couldn't lift a lot of weight for a lot of repetitions. And I took 70-pound dumbbells, and I stuck in my hands on an incline press. I started doing presses to see how many I could do. Well, I was pretty fatigued already. Got to only about 7 or 8. Put the dumbbells down, went inside, and took these little tiny patches. One is tan, one is white. I put the tan one on my, I was told to put it on my chest, in the front, just by my shoulder blade, below my collarbone. Put one right there, put one on the opposite side. Waited for just a few minutes, went back outside, started the routine again, got to my 70-pound dumbbells, and to my surprise, being pretty fatigued at the time, grabbing me thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to press these up. And I pressed them up 15 times. Absolutely took me by total surprise. And because that happened, I had to make some phone calls to find out what was in these patches, what took place, what happened there. And what I come to find, that the owner and developer of the patches in a company called Lifewave is a gentleman by the name of David Schmidt. And what he told me was there's a signal that's just sent. It's software for the human body. What it told me to do is the patches gave me more energy, more stamina, more strength. In a matter of just a few minutes, I was absolutely flabbergasted by what took place. I went and told some people about it. There's some people on the line tonight that have had similar experiences with the patch. One of them is a gentleman by the name of Charlie Lotus. Charlie, are you with us tonight?
We are here, Bruce.
Now, Charlie, tell everybody really quickly what your background is.
Well, excuse me. I had the fortunate ability, like you, to play professional athletics at the baseball level, and then an injury curtailed that dream, and I go back and get my degree in biology and kinesiology, just so happens to be, and coached 25 years, coaching all sports in the early years, and then for the last 18 years at the baseball level at 2 major universities and 1 junior college. So I've been through the high school, junior college, all the way up through the collegiate end of it. But I had a former player, Bruce, call me on February 2nd and said, Coach, you need to get back into coaching. For the last 15 years, I've owned an advertising and marketing company, and we do all kinds of sales and marketing for different products, et cetera, and so forth. And so I listened to him a little bit, and then he said, go to the website, and I watched the video, and called him back that same evening as he was in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I knew what I was going to do, at least part of what I was going to do the rest of my life. And
Charlie, when you got the patches, first of all, what did you think of them? And then where did you place them? Where did you put them on your body when you tried them?
Well, there was several of us kind of experimented. That we all came in at about the same time that are in here, and we had 5 different locations, and we had been told that the different locations in Chinese Qi, acupuncture, without the needles, the patches, which is what they were, was to open up the meridians, which are 12 meridians in your body that provide all of the energy to all of your organs and so forth. It's been around for 5,000 years, and David Schmidt is, when he let the naval situation where he was testing for more endurance, more energy, and so forth in a safe environment, and came upon using the patches where they provide an FM signal, which is nothing more than a low radio-based frequency modulation signal called resonant energy that sends a message into your body that says burn fat, create energy, and we see these things happen. I had placed the patches in all of the spots, the lung point 1, which is your shoulder, and then your pericardium 6 on your wrist, which I really like. Those 2 spots I do most of the time. I'll have a bear on one of those 2 spots. Then you go to the stomach 36 on your knees, and then your kidney 3, which is on the inside of your ankles. Right is the white and tan is the left, and then the liver point is on top of your foot. And all of those spots will work effectively for different ones. And I've worked with a lot of athletes, and like you said, the athletes, we've got a marker there that they can start with, and they know what they can lift and so forth. But our athletes are only probably 20% of the overall people that we work with out there. We're looking at the little mother that has 3 ragamuffins that she's chasing around all day and being able to have an enough energy to work through the day and so on, and it's difficult. But in working with these people and seeing all types of different medical situations, we won't go into the names of them, but neurological disorders that a lot of these people have got their lives back together in the last 5, 6, 7 months, and it's just something that has been really great. But at this point in time, I want to bring in the first guy that I signed. He's an old ex-coach from Oklahoma, and he's been around a long time coaching, and then he was in the Parks and Recreation Department, and he's been in city administration. But Hayden Karn, are you around?
Yes, Charlie, I'm here.
Well, tell them your story about how you got started and some of the things that have happened for you.
Well, thank you, Charlie. Bruce, I met you out at the conference in Vegas. If you remember, I was a person that said I had run the chain gang at OU for 30 years.
Yes, I do remember.
Okay. And the reason I remember, Charlie, is because I'm so short and he's so tall, you know. But nevertheless, Charlie introduced me to the patches in the 1st of February this last year. It was only probably just a week maybe or so, maybe a couple of days after he was introduced to them. And, excuse me. And immediately, I had to get them and try them. Go ahead. We just got a little background interference. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's your background.
Okay. But anyhow, I couldn't wait to get my set of patches, and George Charlie obliged there. And right off the bat, my biggest change was in the fact of how alert I was. I'm 70 years old, and one big item was the fact that when my wife and I would just be driving down the road, we would never speak to one another, and I wouldn't shut up. And she decided, baby, I need to take the patches off. That was my first encounter, and then the encounter of the energy that I had, because I play golf, and one of the biggest improvements that I found out that I just didn't realize until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we started an alumni band out of Shattuck, and I hadn't played a trumpet in 40-some years, and got my trumpet out and played it, and was having trouble, of course, breathing and hitting the notes and whatever. Anyhow, this year, when I picked up the trumpet, man, all of a sudden I had all the wind I needed. I could hit the high notes. I played tremendously better. So the fact that if my fingers could keep up with my mind, then I could really play. But the energy that I have, not only playing it, but also with my lung capacity, is just unreal.
Guys, you said, I'm sorry to say, how old are you again?
70.
And when was the last time you played the trumpet?
Well, I got out of the Army in 1958, and I had played some while I was in the service, and that was the last time I picked it up until about 3 years ago.
Wow. And where did you put the patches on? Did you put them on?
I put them in the lung area,
which is on your chest, correct?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. That's terrific. What a great story. Awesome.
Well, just recently, hopefully I was going to have a person on tonight that just got into the business. He's a football official, a basketball official, and I happened to have coached him or taught him when he was a second grader, and it started off just as a normal conversation. And when we got into talking about fishing and everything, I asked him to come up to the house, and I spent about 40 minutes explaining the programs, and the first thing he said, well, he's having hip problems. And so I immediately said, well, let's just patch you up right now and see. And so I did, and left the room, and all the way back to the computer room, I heard him say, oh my God, so they're already working. And so he put the patches on, and immediately got relief, and immediately came in, and he was celebrating his anniversary tonight, and so, family comes first. Well, he'd have been with us tonight. But he's just ecstatic about the whole thing, and what a prime group, to work with, the officials, because they need it probably worse than anybody, because they're armchair quarterbacks and weekend warriors, so to speak. And it's just amazing. And he immediately
couldn't wait to sign up and get these patches to go into business. That's absolutely terrific. You know, for the people that are listening for the very first time, almost everybody that takes a look at the patches for the first time are a little skeptical of what they do. But you have to understand, David Schmidt's created a product that nothing leaves the patch. Nothing goes into the bloodstream. There's no drug, no chemical, no product, no caffeine, no sugar. Nothing leaves the patch. It's just a simple signal that goes into your body and tells the body to do certain things. It creates energy, stamina, and recovery time. And also we're finding it creates an aid in healing and pain management. Absolutely, we've taken some people that have had, I'll give you a prime example. My next door neighbor has a young daughter. She's 14. She's had 3 elbow surgeries. She's a little gymnast. And they were afraid that she was taking way too many chemicals, too many drugs, too much Vicodin, too many Percocets. They didn't want to get her hooked on pain medication. But she's not feeling good. She's been miserable. And so her mom and dad were very skeptical of using the patches because they didn't see any value in them. But what we did was we took a white patch and stuck it on her sternum. And then we took the tan patch and we stuck it right over the place where she had the surgery. And her benefit was, within about 5 minutes, she got this little grin on her face. And she started moving her elbow back and forth. And she looked at her dad and she says, "This feels a lot better." She goes, "How does this work?" It's an incredible science. And it works. It works for pain management. It works for energy, for stamina. The patches do absolutely fun things. We've got another gentleman on the line. Greg, are you with us tonight? Greg?
Yeah, your dumb athlete is here.
There he is. now, Greg is a former athlete also. And Greg, when whoever told you about this company and showed you these patches, what was your first impression? You got to tell everybody.
I thought they had some screws loose because, well, you know, being athletic and I've managed a gym and you're so used to something having to go into the body. I'll tell you a funny story. When I was sitting around with my business partner and I said, we'll go into the business side of this first. I said, we were saying, boy, wouldn't it be great if we could find a product that everybody wants, that everybody needs, and we could market it and go make money. And I said, well, you're Richard. I said, that's not a dream. I said, that's a fairy tale. And about 2 weeks later, I was invited out to Atlanta to meet David Schmidt and see the Lifewave product. And I came back and told Richard, I said, guess what? I think I might have just met Peter Pan because fairy tales do come true. And, you know, that may sound funny, but I said in reality, it's the absolute truth because I came back just amazed. And I'm like you, Bruce. I went out there with my arms folded going, you guys are class, but thanks for the trip to Atlanta. And I left there going, this is amazing. And I'm a weekend warrior, but actually I'm a week and weekend warrior. I play a lot of sports still. I'm 45, and I compete with kids I coached for 20 years have now caught up to me and are playing sports. And I just finished my 5th straight county championship here in Santa Cruz, all on the patches. And
where did you wear them, Greg? Where did you put them on your body?
You know, I actually rotate them depending. I like to wear them on my legs when I'm pitching because it feels like my legs are stronger and I just seem to get more zip on the ball. When I play basketball, I tend to move them to my wrists or my chest. And I think it's important that people rotate it because I'm no expert on this, but I understand about the meridians and sometimes they're blocked. So it's important to move them throughout your body and really get the full exposure to all your different meridians. And it's been life-changing for me, not only physically, but also financially, because it's a great and wonderful business. And I've never done network marketing before, and I'm having an absolute blast with it.
Well, getting to networking, Greg, getting to networking. Now, you had results from these, correct? And you got excited about what you saw?
Oh, I got, not only did I get excited about it, but I brought them back and I immediately showed them to my chiropractor, who was a complete pessimist, who with less than 20 minutes went from pessimist to optimist. And then we have a lady in his office who we put him on who has scoliosis and a Harrington rod in her back, and she got immediate results. And so then we started building the business. All within an hour, we saw the full effect of Lifewave. I mean, we all kind of sit around looking at each other going, well, what do we do now? Who do we call? Where do we go? But I've got someone on the line here. Also, Todd, are you out there? Oh, he must not have made it on there. He's had phenomenal results with the patches and actually called me yesterday to say that he felt euphoric. He said, I've never felt like this in my life before. He said, is this really real? And he proceeded to have 10 people on the phone that day and sold 10 sets of patches that day. Just, calling people saying, look at me, I've never felt like this before. So, I mean, it really is a phenomenal product and just a fun business to be in.
There's no question, folks, for you that are listening for the first time, and you heard a lot of, you've heard meridian points, and you've heard acupuncture points, and you've heard all these different things being said, but in reality, it's very simple. The patches are like Band-Aids. They're round. They're about the size of a 50-cent piece. And you can put them on different parts of the body. You can put them in the corner of the shoulder, in the collarbone, where they come together. And that's really good for people, and it pertains to your lungs and the effect of oxygen and breathing. This is a preferred spot for a lot of people that do aerobic activity, for example. We know we can put them on the wrist, on the inside of the wrist, inside of the arm, about 2 inches above the wrist. And this is a very powerful point for the patches, especially for people working with their hands and arms. And it's preferred. It's a preferred spot for people that play football, people that lift weights, and other strength sports. And then you hear people talk about putting them on their knees. And you put them just on the outside of your knee, about 3 thumb widths below the knee joint and about 1 inch to the outside of the shin bone. There's a little divot right there. And the patches are worn here for people that have leg endurance or require leg endurance. For example, my sister-in-law runs marathons and 10Ks, and she just finished one. And when she was practicing more, she said her legs would get hurt. They would throb. She's 40 years old, and she competes real heavy. And she was very skeptical about trying the patches, and she stuck them just below her knee, just on the outside of her shin right there, a white one on the right, a tan one on the left, and she went out and she finished the race, and when she crossed, she called me immediately, said that's the first time in about the last month and a half that my legs did not hurt. In fact, it was her best time for a long time running a 10K. We also have a point for runners also at the bottom of the ankle. So some very unique spots to put them with tremendous results. Now, because of these results, because of these athletes, David Schmidt went to Major League Baseball. He went to the NFL. He went to the NBA. We've got a lot of different athletes and coaches and players trying these patches. And these patches ended up in somebody's lap at Stanford University. And it happened to be an Olympic coach. It happened to be a NCAA champion coach in swimming. Coach Quick, are you with us tonight? I sure am, Bruce. Coach, you hear these stories, and you were introduced to this company. Now, you're not a distributor, Coach, but you got such a great result for the product. Would you tell everybody really quickly your background, and then how you got introduced to this company and these patches? Bruce, sometimes I wish I was a distributor. Because this is a wonderful opportunity. But I was introduced to this technology by Dr. Carl Merritt. And Dr. Merritt is an MD, PhD, and his PhD is in bioelectrical engineering. And I've been going to see Carl as a client for several months, and I really liked the things he was doing for me and so on. And he ran across this technology and talked to me and said, Richard, you need to try this. So I tried it, and Bruce, I was just struck by the results I was having myself. And I put the patches, I rotated the patches. I'd put them on my ankles, and then I'd put them on the outside of my knees, and then I'd put them on my chest, and then I'd put them on my wrist. But I just rotated them that way, and but I had just a sustained energy all day long. I was, when I'd work out, I'd recover from it faster, and I thought, my athletes need this. So
So I asked David Schmidt to come out to Stanford University and talk to my team about it. And I want you to know, my team was very skeptical. In fact, the most skeptical girl was a girl by the name of Tara Kirk, who she wanted to prove David wrong when he came out. She asked him very, very tough questions. She's a human biology major, and in fact, she's interviewing for a Rhodes Scholarship maybe this coming weekend. She's a brilliant, brilliant human being. And she wanted to prove David wrong. She asked tough questions. David answered every question about how the technology works, why nothing can go in your body, and why this technology can produce the kind of results it does with regard to strength, stamina, endurance, mental acuity. Then we did some, tests, and she was the first one to volunteer because she wanted to prove him wrong again. And of course, she responded very well to the test. A few weeks later in our training and racing, Tara Kirk was doing so well, and she said, "Richard, I just want you to know, of all the things you've asked us to try, this product really, really works." She wound up making the Olympic team. She broke the world record in the 100-meter breaststroke short course, was NCAA Athlete of the Year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you that are involved in athletics, I am not telling you that this technology made Tara Kirk. She was a great athlete. She worked hard. She was everything a coach would want. But I do think this was part of the puzzle that was her success with regard to making the Olympic team. She was not a favorite to make the Olympic team at the beginning of the year. So our team did very well with them. We used them right up to the Olympic trials, and it was just an extraordinary experience, Bruce.
Well, that's terrific, Coach. And and for folks that are listening for the very first time, it's fun to work with the athletes. That bunch seems to have markers. They kind of know how fast they can run. They kind of know the distance they can travel at a particular time. They have an idea how much they can lift. And for those people that really like to work, and not just professional, but amateur, and even those, and Greg said it so kindly, the weekend warriors, the guys that go out there and try to prove to themselves that they could play professional sports. But at the same time, those people that like to work out and have markers. And what the patches seem to do for a lot of folks is push them beyond those markers. And that's always exciting because a lot of times with exercise, you get stuck. You have these plateaus that you can't get over no matter whatever reason. No diet changes it. No difference in drinks changes it. Nothing changes it. No supplementation changes it. There's just these stuck. And you think that's as best as I can do ever. And all of a sudden we put these patches on them and they go a little further. Some go quite a bit further. Some go just a little further. But it's just how important is that to you. In other aspects of this business, we got people that just like the 70-year-old gentleman that was on earlier tonight. He's got more energy, more stamina. He feels good. My grandparents wear them. My mother wears them. Everybody in my family wears them just for the lack of fatigue. They don't have any. They feel good during the day. They rest great at night. And Coach, with this, you got to assume, and Greg mentioned a little bit when he came back from Atlanta, he says, there could be a fortune made here. Now, David shows the multi-level marketing arena, and do you think that's a good market for this product, Coach?
Without a doubt, Bruce, and I'll tell you why. The thing about this technology and these patches is you need to know where to wear these patches. And who better to tell you how to wear the patches than somebody who's experienced success, who kind of understands the technology. We don't want to put this product on a shelf somewhere and have a $10 an hour person behind the counter talk about this product. We want people who have experienced this technology and who've had the extraordinary results and explain that to their friends and their acquaintances and people that are looking for more energy, better sleep, more strength, more stamina, that whole, quadri of experiences. We want people that have experienced that to tell other people about it. And so I think multi-level marketing is absolutely the perfect way to do this. And Bruce, the other great thing about multi-level marketing is there is absolutely no ceiling as to how far a person can go in this business if they get excited about the product and telling other people about it. It's just an extraordinary opportunity in life.
Well, there's no cap. There's no cap. There's no cap to what you can earn. Folks, I played pro football for 8 years, and that was a lot of fun and generated a lot of friends, and that was a great experience, but not everybody gets to experience that. But at the same time, that was terminal. At some point, that came to an end. And when it was over, but so was the income. I jumped into an industry called multi-level, and I made more money in the same period. I made twice the amount of money in the same period of time in multi-level. And the reason being is because it duplicates itself, it replicates itself. You talk about residual income, overrides, royalties. All those things fall into this category. And David Schmidt chose the perfect industry to get his product out there. The other thing is you can help people. I know everybody on this phone has gotten help from sleep, more energy, more stamina, more strength from the use of the product. So you share that with others. And the company's willing to pay you. I'm not doing this for free. I get paid to go out and tell people about this terrific product. When we played pro football, we used to go out into the cancer research and to the hospice society and to the burn victims and all these kind of stuff, people that were just not feeling well all the time. And we give them autographs and pictures. And I went, oh my goodness, there's nothing we're really doing for these people. We're not really helping them. We brighten their day. We put a smile on their face, but when we leave, it's over. In this industry, I found that you can absolutely go help people. There's people that have been on these patches that changed their lives, not just physically, but also financially. If you have too much month at the end of the money, we've got a solution for that. If you can't sleep very well, we have a solution for that. If you're tired and lethargic all the time, we have a solution for that. And you can try our patches and see how they work with a money-back guarantee if they don't. We think this is a terrific company. We have a terrific product. And Coach, you know what it's like to help people.
Without a doubt. And Bruce, you said you had a lot of friends through the NFL. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, get involved in this business. You're going to have friends throughout the world. I've been involved with this business since a year ago last February. And, the list of friends I have, including Bruce and many, many others, David Schmidt, Stephen Holtiwinger, Dean Clark, Greg Smith, it could just go on and on. And, it's a great, great business to be part of. And, again, let me tell you, there is absolutely no cap. I don't know about you, but when I was at Stanford University, I was never going to make more money than the football coach, as the swimming coach. It was just, that's in the cards. In multi-level marketing, you start today. If you want to, it's just up to you. You could make more money than anybody's ever made in Lifewave before if you choose to do that. It's strictly up to you. It's just a wonderful opportunity, and along the way, you're going to be doing what most coaches get in the business to do, and that is to help people live a more productive, higher quality of life.
Coach, you're absolutely correct. I didn't know anybody on this phone call prior to 5 months ago. Not one person. And now I have a whole list of new people to be with and unlimited income. Folks that are listening to this, you've heard about multi-level, you can do this. You can trade time for dollars, or you can go out and create financial freedom. And that's what we're offering with this company, 1 year old, brand new technology, software for the human body. No competition, no cap, brand new company, and it's going to be worldwide. Think about that, a worldwide business that you can open up and start today by getting with the person that invited you on this phone call, get with them, order the patches, join Lifewave today. You won't be sorry. Absolutely will not be sorry. Thank you so much, Coach Quick, for being on the line, Greg for being on the line, Charlie for being on the line, and having your guests.